All right, let's talk about something that sounds way more complicated than it needs to be. Moving your old 401k over to an E-Trade IRA. You know, it's one of those things that can feel pretty stressful. But trust me, with the right game plan, it's actually super straightforward. So today, that's what we're going to do. Give you the playbook for a perfect, tax-free transfer.
And really, this whole thing boils down to one simple idea. Precision beats panic. When you're dealing with your retirement savings, even a tiny little mistake can snowball into a massive financial headache. That's why being precise, getting it right from the start, is absolutely everything.
So what's the big scary monster we're trying to avoid? It's this number right here, 20%. Get this, if you do a rollover the wrong way, your old 401k plan is legally required to snatch 20% of your money right off the top and send it to the IRS. It's a huge avoidable trap, and our entire goal today is to make sure you breeze right past it.
Okay, so how do you dodge this bullet? Well, first you have to understand that there are two totally different roads your money can take to get from point A to point B. And picking the right one, well, that's the most important decision in this whole process.
And here are those two roads side by side. It's pretty stark, right? Over on the left, you've got the direct rollover. Notice the key words: no withholding, no ticking clock, and low stress. It's just a clean, simple transfer. But then look at the indirect rollover on the right. This is where they make the check out to you. And bam! That one little difference triggers that 20% withholding, starts a crazy 60-day countdown, and turns the whole thing into a high-stress cash juggle. The choice couldn't be clearer.
So let's talk about the hero of our story, the direct rollover. You might also hear it called a trustee-to-trustee transfer. The absolute key here is that the money goes directly from one financial institution to another. It never, ever lands in your personal bank account. And because of that, it neatly sidesteps all the rules that create that nasty 20% problem. This is our slam-dunk, guaranteed solution.
We've seen the trap and we found the escape hatch. Now, let's put all our focus on the direct rollover and build out the exact playbook to get this thing done flawlessly.
And you know what? It all comes down to a few magic words. When you call your old 401k company, this is the phrase that pays. Direct rollover to custodian FBO me. FBO just means for benefit of. Seriously, saying that one sentence is like a secret password that makes the whole 20% problem just disappear. All right, enough with the what and the why. It's time to get into the how. Here is your clear, step-by-step playbook that you can follow to the letter. Look, it really just boils down to 4 simple steps. First, you've got to have the destination ready. That means your IRA is open and waiting at E-Trade. Second, you use the exact script we're about to give you. Third, you double-check that the check is made out correctly. And fourth, you make sure they mail it directly to E-Trade. That's the whole shebang. Okay, this right here is the most important slide. Screenshot this, write it down, whatever you need to do. Do not paraphrase this. Read it word for word. Look how specific it is. It tells them the exact payee, Morgan Stanley, not you, to put your account number on the check and the precise mailing address. This language leaves zero room for error. It pretty much forces them to do it the right way.
Okay, that playbook is going to work for like 90% of you out there. But what if your situation is a little more interesting? Let's talk about 2 really common curveballs that just require a little extra precision.
First up, is anyone out there turning 73 this year, or are you already over 73? If that's you, you need to lean in for this next part because it's absolutely critical. You're dealing with something called a required minimum distribution, or RMD.
The rule here is dead simple. RMDs cannot be rolled over, period. The IRS considers that your money for the year, and they want you to take it. So the order of operations is everything. First, you take your RMD for the year and have it sent to your regular old bank account. Then, and only after that's done, you roll over the rest. Get that order wrong, and you're looking at penalties.
All right, special situation number 2. This is for anyone who has a mix of different kinds of money in their 401k. You know, maybe you've made some traditional pre-tax contributions over the years, but also some after-tax or even Roth 401k contributions. To handle this, you just have to keep the 2 types of money separate, like sorting your laundry. It's that easy. You just tell your plan to cut 2 separate checks. One check for all that pre-tax money goes straight into your new traditional IRA. The other check for all the Roth or after-tax money goes into your new Roth IRA. This keeps the tax status clean and makes the IRS happy. So, you've made the call, the check is in the mail, and boom, the money shows up in your new E-Trade account. We're done, right?
Almost. The last step is just a quick check of the paperwork to make sure the IRS sees this whole thing exactly the way we planned it. So, early next year, you're going to be on the lookout for 2 tax forms. First, by the end of January, your old plan will send you a Form 1099-R. Think of this as the money out receipt. Then, a few months later, by the end of May, E-Trade will send you a Form 5498. This is your money in confirmation.
Once you have both forms in hand, you just run through this quick checklist. Do the dollar amounts match exactly? This is the big one. Does Box 7 on the 1099-R show the code G? That G is your proof that it was a direct rollover. And finally, do the account types line up? If you can check yes to all those, then your forms rhyme, and you can rest easy knowing your rollover is officially correctly done.
So, what can you do literally right after watching this? Here's a simple 15-minute action item. Don't even pick up the phone yet. Just draft an email to your plan administrator using that exact script we gave you. The only thing you're trying to do is get them to confirm, in writing, how they'll make out the check and where they'll mail it. Getting that email confirmation up front basically eliminates all the risk.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. This wasn't just about a 401k rollover, it's about a shift in mindset. Going from feeling overwhelmed or panicked by financial stuff to feeling empowered because you have a precise plan. So now that you've got this playbook, it makes you wonder, what other financial task is just sitting there, waiting for you to conquer it with that same clarity and confidence?